Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here. Today we're going to be going over the deck that I brought to locals, getting second place with today, going 3 wins, 1 draw. So realistically undefeated. And let's get right into it. With the brand new edition of Majespecter Kirin Unicorn coming back, I wanted to play Majespecters, but last week I built the deck without even knowing that it was going to be coming off. So I guess it was a wild speculation or wild chance of luck because I've always liked Majespecters as a whole. So let's get into the deck list and let's get started. First off, we have one Majespecter Unicorn Kirin. This card causes a lot of crazy chaos because you're able to target a pendulum monster in your monster zone and a monster your opponent controls, bounce him back to the hand. And that is a hard once per turn effect, and all your Majespecters share the same effect of cannot be targeted by card effects or destroyed by card effects. So that is one of the main pieces. And this is where a funny loop comes in with Porcupine and Majespecter wins. In one of the games, I had Kirin, Porcupine, and wins. I would go effect Kirin, bounce back the Porcupine, and then during the end phase, effect the wins, special the Porcupine from hand, effect the Porcupine, reset the wins on a new resolution. So I was just looping those materials over and over again. Next up, we have Majespecter Porcupine Yamarashi. It is a level 4 spellcaster pendulum monster, and it is the card that resets all your Majespecter spells from the graveyard, which is really good, and the scale 2 is very good for the combo. Then we have 3 Majespecter Crow Yada. This is your main Majespecter spell searcher, if it's normal or special summoned, which I really do like. 3 Majespecter Raccoon Bambuku. This card searches out all your Majespecter monsters. 1 Majespecter Toad Ogama. This card being able to set any of your Majespecter spell or trap cards from your deck to the field. Very powerful on a turn ender. And Majespecter Fox QB, being able to search out any of your Majespecter trap cards. Now let's get into the spells and traps of the deck. We have 3 Majespecter Wind. You can activate this card. Also, you can also tribute 1 wind spellcaster monster. Special summon 1 Majespecter monster from your hand or graveyard. Or if you tribute a monster at activation, you can special summon 1 Majespecter monster from your deck. So you can get any of your starters or even Kirin out, which is very powerful. Then we have 1 Majespecter Cyclone. This card is tribute a wind spellcaster, target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it for targeting removal. And then we have Majesty's Pegasus. All your Majespecter monsters gain 300 attack on the field, and you tribute 1 wind spellcaster monster. Special summon 1 level 4 or lower Majespecter monster from your deck. You can only use that effect of Pegasus once per turn. This card gets all your little Majespecter monsters, but one of the sad things is you can't summon out Kirin. But one of the things that do happen is you have to normal summon out a draw to go into a Majesty's Pegasus play to summon out any of your monsters, most likely Bambuku. And for the trap cards, we have Majespecter Tornado. Tribute 1 wind spellcaster monster, then target 1 monster your opponent controls. Banish it. Banishing removal is very good. We also have Majespecter Tempest. When a monster would be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, you can tribute 1 wind spellcaster monster, negate the activation or summon, and destroy that card. Realistically, a very good counter trap, but in my opinion, what does the main core need? They really need something to deal with back row. But let's get into the next part of the deck, being the Dracoslayer engine. I'm only running 1 Luster Pendulum because it comes up here and there. And we also have 1 Dynamite Power Load, the Dracoslayer. When you scale it, you can target a Dracoslayer or Dynamite card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon it, and you can only use that effect once per turn. And if this card is tributed, you can add 1 piece of Dynamist or Dracoslayer Pendulum from your archetype to your hand, except another copy of itself. And you can only use that effect once per turn. But the more important one is Majesty Pegasus Dracoslayer. I see people running 3 of it. I personally like 2 because I always see it in every hand or during every combo. So realistically, cutting it down to 2 definitely helped out the consistency. So this is if you have a Dracoslayer or Majespecter in your other scale, you can add 1 Dracoslayer Pendulum monster with a different original name than that card from your deck to your hand. So if you scale this with any of your Majespecters, you can search whatever you want. And then you could destroy 1 card in your Pendulum Zone. So realistically, if you don't want to pop your scale, you don't have to because it's a then you can. So that's really good. And then the other effect is quick effect, discard this card for the rest of the turn. Your opponent cannot target Dracoslayer monsters you control with card effects. Also cannot be destroyed by battle, so they all get the Majespecter clause, and if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dracoslayer card or pendulum summoned, you get to add a field spell from your deck to your hand, then discard one card. So that's where you can search Majesty's Pegasus or Secret Village of the Spellcaster, because your deck is mainly Spellcaster, which, in my opinion, this lockout definitely devastated a few people tonight. And then for the hand trap lineup. So I went with a different logic with the hand traps. Anything that's a hard once per turn, I'm running 2 of. Anything that is a non-once per turn, I'm running 3. So that means that we're running 3 Ash, 3 Bell, and 3 Ogre. And for Droll Lockbird, it's one of those things like 2 never pops up when you're activating it, or barely pops up. So realistically, I just put a 2 because it's another once per turn, realistically. Then we have the 3 Veiler, the 3 Imperm, and 3 Crossout to hit a lot of the hand traps, and it really comes in handy. After that, let's get to the extra deck. We're going to be going over all the Dracoslayer cards I ran. Being 1 Ignis Prominence, this could be literally anything. I just chose it to run it. It could be a Charmer if you really want to. It can be Win the Wind Charmer. It could be Area, Lina, whatever you need. Since we're running almost every attribute. We have Majespecter Draco Ryu. This card is a fantastic card. If you have a Majespecter or Dracoslayer in your other Pendulum Zone, you can add 1 Majespecter card from your deck to your hand. Then you can destroy 1 card in your Pendulum Zone. You can only use this effect once per turn, which gaining any of your Majespecter cards is very good. But that effect barely comes up. The main effect that comes up is if you Pendulum Summon level 4, you can Pendulum Summon this card face up from your extra deck, so it's just like every other extra deck Pendulum monster. But the main effect is if a monster is tributed while this card is on the field, except during the damage step, you can detach 1 material from the card, special summon a 1 level 6 or lower wind spellcaster monster from your deck, and you can only use this effect once per turn, or up to twice per turn, I actually should say. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect or tributed, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone, so it gives you a free scale of 5, which I really do like. After that, we have the 1 Majester Paladin, the Ascending Dracoslayer. When it's Exceed Summon, you add a Pendulum monster during the end phase from your deck, and once per turn you can detach material from this card, special summon 1 face-up Dracoslayer Pendulum monster from your extra deck, but it cannot be used as Exceed material, which is fine, because you're going to be link summoning it away into probably Majespecter or Thrust. Nue. Nue is a ridiculous link monster that is Imperm bait. It takes 2 Pendulum monsters, including a Majespecter monster. So you can use anything for it. If this card is link summoned, you can add up to two face-up Majespecter Pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand. Then you can add up to 2 Majespecter Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to your face-up extra deck. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Majespecter or Dracoslayer monsters. And you can only use that effect once per turn. Now, in my opinion, this card would definitely be better if we had a Link 3 Dracoslayer that is not Metaltron, because that is a Zephyra. I kind of wish we do have a Link 3 Dracoslayer, because that would make going into something bigger much easier, and being able to Pendulum Summon more to be better. But overall, Nue is a very good card. And then we have the staples being Zeus, Typhon, Baguska, Abyss Dweller, and then the Exceed, or the Link monsters being Access Code, Appaloosa, Exceed the Pendulum, SP Little Knight, and Beyond the Pendulum. So realistically, just Pendulum good stuff, extra deck pieces that is utility everywhere. And then for the side deck, I just went with a super generic side deck of double Nibiru, double Pankratops, 1 Feather Duster. They could search off the thrusts, which did come up. So you have 3 copies. You have 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Necro Valley, because this card actually came up. And you can just place it, and you can be like, hey, no graveyard. And then for board breakers and other stun pieces, we have 1 Debarrier. I don't know how this didn't get banned on the ban list. This card's nuts. We have Evenly Matched, and finally, 1 copy of the Black Goat's Laugh. This card's going to be good coming up against Tempai Dragon, being able to call the red Tempai Dragon. You have to call this guy, Chandra. So that is one thing that you have to do. So if you set it, you flip it face up, call a monster. Realistically, super good against so many decks. You can call things like Skull Guardian, Guardian of the Voiceless Voice. You can call against Labyrinth. You can go Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle or whatever else you want to do. You can realistically call it against anything. This is a very good tech card, and I really do like it, and I hope that I might pump it up to 2 or 3 in the future. But anyways, this has been my Majespecter deck list. I'm sorry if I sound a little winded, is because tonight was a very long night and I had to do a couple of things afterwards. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy, and see you all in the next video.